Last week I quit my job as a web developer in Oxford. Today I start my journey as an indie game developer and an aspiring artist. I've been developing a game called Heard of the Story in my spare time. It's a low-poly game about procedurally generating stories, quests, and just generally a medieval world. For this week I want to vlog both my time here in Oxford and the development progress. So I tried leaving the more interesting tasks for this week. The plan is work on improving the villager AI, fixing tooltips in the UI, adding the ability to drop items, adding some new sound effects, and if I get time, polish the layout of objects on the map. I'll start with the biggest task and probably the one that's most interesting, improving the villager AI. At the moment, the AI for the villagers is very simple. They just sort of pick a random place within their vicinity to walk to. It's kind of boring and very shallow behavior overall, but the villager behavior is kind of what this game is all about. So I want to make it more realistic. For this week though, I'll start by giving the villagers the ability to gather resources just like the player can. So this is mining, chopping wood, and gathering flowers. Okay, let's get started with the development. Hello there, Distraction. This is the neighbor's cat, Jerry.
Ouch.
Bye, Jerry. Whew. So, after some refactoring, testing and bug fixing, I finally got to a point where villagers can choose between gathering wood or just walking around depending on how much they enjoy each. I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's a good checkpoint, so I'll leave it here for the day. I'll probably continue with adding the mining and flower gathering actions at the end of this week so I don't work on the same task for too long. In the meantime though, it's a very nice day here in Oxford, so I'm definitely going to use this chance for a walk. So the plan was, go to a cafe and work for a few hours. This did not happen. I was planning to go to the Handlebar Cafe in Oxford, but when I got there I checked the opening times to find out it's not actually open today. But it was alright, I had a plan B. There was another cafe, which was even better, called Brew. I didn't realise it was about another half an hour walk, but I was committed now. So the great thing was, when I got into the cafe, I realised they had no indoor seating due to the pandemic. But I decided to try the coffee anyway since this was apparently one of the two best cafes in Oxford. As a plan C, I went to sit down in University Parks just down the road and enjoyed the coffee there. Whilst I drank the coffee and enjoyed the no Wi-Fi, I watched a pre-downloaded game dev stream of Infallible Code where Charles and Jason discussed how to write self-documenting code. Arguably, this was the superior of the free plans because it was actually a really nice day to sit outside. Whether it was the most productive plan. Well, anyway, let's get back to the house and back to work. This afternoon, the plan is to work on improving and fixing bugs with item tooltips. This is what the tooltips look like when you hover your mouse over an item. At the moment, there's no tooltips for the item recipes on the right, or on the requirements for recipes in the bottom right. On the bug side, I want to fix a glitch where the tooltip doesn't disappear if you're hovering over an item and then you close the menu. This also makes the item permanently expanded, even if you hover over it again. And the last bug is that different resolutions don't keep the tooltip position right next to the mouse. After lots of fun with Unity's UI system, all the bugs mentioned are now fixed, and I've added tooltips on the recipes and their requirements. At the moment there is only one sound effect in the game, so today I want to create and implement a few new ones. There are already a lot of free online sound effects from websites like Freesound, but I thought it might be fun to try recording my own. Plus, it's actually really easy to just find random objects around the house which aren't even related to what you're trying to imitate, but sound exactly like them somehow. My goal is to record at least 3 variations of each sound effect. This way I can randomly choose one whenever it's played to make it not as obviously repetitive. Okay, let's probably stop messing around with this guitar and actually start recording some sound effects. Now I'm collecting some leaves for a leaf rustling effect. Maybe I can create the sound of gathering from a bush or stepping on some leaves. And this is what some of them sound like in the game. It's kind of weird that nothing happens when you hit the tree. Let's change that.
Do not hit me, human.
I made the tree shake when you hit it and also sped up the swinging animation so it's more realistic and responsive. I didn't get to add all the sound effects today, but it's nice to have them recorded to add another time. However, the ones I've added I think work very well and I'm very happy with the results. To finish the day, I'll do some game design-esque work. I'll go through a bunch of ideas I have written down to sort them and prioritize them. Today, let's finish the villager AI. Okay, so I taught the villagers how to chop wood, gather flowers and mine resources. But there are still a few bugs I have to squash. For the gathering, sometimes the villager gets stuck. I think this may be related to the fact that they sometimes facepalm the floor just before they start to gather. On the mining, the villagers can apparently clip through rocks sometimes. And the most amusing one is that after I updated all the surrounding trees to be choppable, well,
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Okay, I'm gonna fix these bugs and then demonstrate the new behavior in motion. It took longer than expected to fix all the bugs, but all the behavior is working very well now, and I'm quite pleased with the results. So, this is a great place to end it for the day. And now, I'm gonna head for a barbecue. Today I'm going to be travelling to Worthing to see some friends. Most of the work that I'll be doing will be just writing down some thoughts during the train on how the week went. I really want to take this time to reflect on the first week, which will hopefully be amongst many that I'll be spending as an indie game developer. So, it was a lot of fun to be able to have so much more time to work on the game than what I'm usually used to. I used to spend only about 15 hours a week. The alien part is this feeling of not having any immediate consequences of not doing something. In this case though, I mostly had to make sure I had finished things so I had footage for the vlog. However, I didn't manage to spend 8 hours every day like I'd hoped, and I actually didn't get time to work on art stuff outside of this at all, which was a shame. But I guess it'll just take some time to get into the rhythm of things. For the plan I had this week, I managed to get through most of the tasks, except for some like adding the ability to drop items. Overall though, I got a satisfying amount done. And having the entire day's worth of work gave me room for extra polishes like the tree shaking. Also, the editing of this video took way too long. Reflecting on the technical side, it was definitely much easier to tunnel on a task. I think this may be because when you undergo a long, continuous breath of work, it's easier to accumulate frustration, and you definitely make great decisions when you're frustrated. Before this week, due to a max of about 1-2 hours on most days, I used to sleep on problems, which actually really helped clearing the mind and not getting into a rut. But anyways, the extra time did allow me to make sure that the feature works properly without any bugs, and to not take as many shortcuts. But you know, it's kinda incredible going to sleep knowing that you get to wake up and work on a dream.